When this fear-based, we know but we don't know what to expect, making it up along the way, pandemic came about, the inherent racisms, prejudices, and any internal issues busted out of people like the belly of a person who's obese past their belt line from every ethnic background. A short time later, bills were put in place to put cash in the pockets of those who are affected by the implementation, or should I say, the failed implementation of the pandemic. Fast forward to May, June 2021. Now that whomever has gotten their way in society and or gauged how people behave when fear is constantly pumped into the minds via media and ignorance, along with desperation, by way of, on purpose, shortages. Shortages of things that has never been short before, such as toilet paper, Lysol wipes and sprays, chicken, etc., etc. Now, that data has been compiled, studied, and the continued plan is going on behind the curtain. Employers who willingly complied with this whole mess are now blaming unemployment for lack of interest and lack of interest of returning to work. For a business that does not believe that there are short-sighted business practices of not increasing pay and or great benefits. So in other words, the employers and the businesses willingly bent the knee to the state and federal government, allowed them to tell them when and if they could stay in business for fear of being penalized with fees and license suspensions, as if those things has not happened before or will not happen before without a pandemic. The employers and the businesses has let down their people just like the state and federal government has let down their people. And yet they turn right around and complain and blame everything else but themselves, as usual. Welcome to America. Because, you see, money on employees has to be spent some way, somehow. Cutting corners to turn a larger profit harms more than helps. Let those employers tell it. Unemployment benefits is the culprit as to why employees are not too eager to come back. Understand something. Things were shitty pre-pandemic. So one can surmise that afterwards it will be a shit show with no protection. Unemployment only prevents the lazy, never wanting to work crew from working, and or those who are system babies and families. System families and babies are those who sit unnecessarily on the state and government systems, taking more and behave as if they are owed what they are stealing. I am sure that you know someone like that. Unemployment does not stop those of us who are used to grinding it out. We prefer to work and grind it out versus sitting and waiting and allowing someone else to dictate our earning potentials. You know? So The constant excuses for a smaller candidate pool is mostly a lie. What a surprise. Not really, though. I will close out with this. We, the employees, want and cherish great benefits, cash incentives, raises, and anything that promotes employees to at least like to come to work. It just makes the shit that we take from the entitled-minded customers, employers, and fellow employees just a tad more palatable. Not stimulus, unemployment, not free this and free that. In fact, what would have America's mostly people who are darker than blue not filling the workplace would be reparations. Of which explains why next to no one promotes the overdue benefits. Because they know when they are to implement reparations that a large percentage of people who they claim aren't Americans by their treatment of us will take the money and start and build our own businesses and or economies, thus taking away from their plans, their further plans of mental, economic, and physical slavery. You see, if the people who are darker than blue have their own, then that means less slaves and despair. Thus, America loses their great power. Power that they claim does not come from us. So which one is it? If you have heard a lie, chime in below as to where and what you think. Music, make more